Hello and welcome. Thank you for coming to our second international What's Up SKEMA event. I'm Ian in SKEMA Admissions. I'm just going to give you a quick intro to today's event. Okay, so the hop-in interface on your screen in front of you. On the left of the screen, you've got three environments. There's reception, stage, and expo. Stage is for the conferences. Expo is where you'll find the virtual booths. Here you can meet the student ambassadors, Anant and Margarita, who are helping us today. On the right of the screen, we have the chat functions. There's chat event. That's a chat for the whole event. Everyone sees what you write there. There's chat stage. That's for each conference. That's where you can ask questions specific to each conference. There's also chat DMs to send private one-to-one messages. Polls. You can reply to poll questions that will be asked throughout the event. There may be questions like what country are you from, what program are you interested in, what subject you want us to talk about next. So we've got three conferences for you today. The first conference is on the two-year MSc. That's with two speakers. They are Michael, head of the two-year MSc, and the other speaker is Joakim, an admissions manager. Second conference is on French attractivity and why choose SKEMA. That's at 2:45 p.m. That's with Joakim and Pierre, both admissions managers. Third conference at 3 p.m. is on student life with Pierre and Joakim again, and two students, Anant and Margarita. Anant and Margarita, the student ambassadors, are available throughout the event in the virtual booths, except for 3 to 3:15 p.m. when they're on in the third conference on student life I just mentioned. Okay, I'm going to hand you over to Michael and Joakim now for the first conference. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy the event. Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Ian. Thank you for this introduction, Ian.
Thank you.
So my name is, I will quickly introduce Joakim Sinniamourd. I'm part of the international admission team. I'm dealing with a country in Southeast Asia and South Europa. And today I'm very glad to get the chance to interview our program, 2 years MSc program director, Michael Hanson. So thank you, Michael, for being here. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing, Joakim?
Well, it's going well. So, Michael, I have plenty of questions for you. I hope you will be able to answer all of them. Are you ready to answer them?
We'll try.
Okay. So, well, Michael, my first question. Let's talk about the 2-year MSc. What is behind the name?
Behind the name? Because the 2-year MSc is an accredited degree by the French government. Okay, it's accredited and controlled by the French government. In the European Union, we have what we call the 358. 3-year degrees are bachelor's degrees. 5-year degrees are master's degrees. So master's degrees are always a 2-year program.
Okay, and so why would I integrate a 2-year MSc if I can go directly for the 1-year program?
Well, some students actually can go directly into the last year if they have a 4-year degree, okay? If they have a 4-year university degree and they have the relevant work experience that's necessary, and the language ability, okay, that's necessary to go directly into the last year, that's possible. But we do have students that even though they have a 4-year degree, they want to do the whole program in order to get the business foundation necessary for the last year. The first year of the 2-year MSc focuses on the main parts of business administration, especially the first semester, and the second semester then on global issues. But additionally, in the first year, students are already specializing. Okay, so no matter whether they're in the what we call the track of business and strategy, or the track of finance, or the track of management, or the track of, what am I missing here, marketing, they're going to follow specialization courses each semester. In addition to that, they have the opportunity to do a minor specialization, and so they can follow one of the specialization courses each semester in another one of the tracks, because there is a possibility, even though you are already signed up for your specialization the last year, to change that. And about And if you want to change specialization tracks after the first year, you can request to do that. Over 90% of those requests are accepted.
Okay, thank you. So it looked very interesting from what I heard, like accredited program recognized by the French Education Ministry. So value is there in terms of recognition, the governmental recognition. And after that, depending on your background, you can either opt for 1 year MSc or a 2 year MSc. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right, because like I said, if you've got that 4-year university degree and you feel confident in subjects like finance, then why not go ahead and go straight for the 1-year degree?
Okay. Okay, very interesting. And let's say I'm a student and I've done 4 or 5 years of engineering, and I discovered that engineering is not my thing, and I want to shift to the business school world. So, can I enter in the 2-year MSc program, or because I have no background at all in management?
Yeah, no, you can. Whether you're an engineer or a language major, or you've done your studies in agriculture, it doesn't make any difference. The 2-year program is designed to be done regardless of your background. Now, I'm not saying it's easy, okay? The first year of the program, we have courses such as corporate finance, and it requires a lot of work. It's a big challenge, okay? But regardless of your background, it's doable. If you spend the time and work like we expect you to work at SKEMA, then you'll have no problem. Those that study hard pass.
Okay, so that's very nice for all the students who are hearing us today. I mean, we are accepting all kind of background into the program. You need to be an hardworking person, but you can make it. Coming to the point of, let's say, the first year, can you explain a bit more about the content of the first year? Is it a general year? Will a student, let's say, coming from an engineering background, will follow the same classes than a student coming from a business background? How does it work?
Yeah, all those students follow the same courses except the specialization courses. To give you an example, all students will follow Excel. As we know today in business, almost every organization uses Excel. You need to be able to use it effectively. So our students all have a long course in Excel, along with visual basics applications, which is another part of Excel, but allows you to do programming, very useful for people going into finance or marketing, etc. In addition to this, we have courses on innovation and entrepreneurship, main courses on marketing, corporate finance, international finance. We have courses that are hackathons. This year, we've started a new program I'm really excited about. It's called Hackathon in a Box, and we will be learning artificial intelligence power tools. And that's a program, a course that will be done in groups. And the guy from Microsoft in charge of this, he's like their most brilliant trainer. And we're excited about that. Students will also have courses in strategy, obviously, and courses in customer relationship management and things like this. Several other courses that are all part of the first year. Another thing that we try and do in the first year is teach students how to analyze a case. So the analytical skills and how do I analyze a case in order to prepare you for that final year, as well as how to present yourself. We want every single student, when they graduate from SKEMA, to have the two most important things that human resource directors look for when recruiting a manager, and that is interpersonal and communication skills. And so students will have a lot of opportunity to present. They're going to learn how to do that, not only what's the contents of what they're saying, but physically, how do I behave? What do I do with my eyes? What about the tone of my voice? I move towards people. So all of that is part of the first year of the 2-year MSc program.
Okay, thank you, Mike. So before going to the next question, students, if you have some question, don't hesitate to put them on the chat, and we will be able to answer them at the same time. So, Mike, I have a question for you. So for me now it's clear, depending on your background, you can join the program, but in fact you are open to any background, either, let's say, if a student who has studied engineering or business, he can enter. And in terms of content, most of the courses are taught are the same for both background, like whether you are coming from architectural, let's say, engineering, business, they will follow the same kind of classes. You spoke about the skill that the student need to get place, the intercultural part, which I think is very important. And you know that SKEMA has 7 campuses worldwide. So one of my question will be, on which campus does the program take place?
Okay, in France, we have 3 main SKEMA campuses. The program takes place in Paris and in Sophia Antipolis, which is next to Nice, on the French Riviera. It's beautiful. I'm actually based in there. However, I'm in Paris a lot because, in fact, we have more 2-year MSc students in Paris than anywhere else. A lot of the students feel like, to have Paris on their CV, as well as, they feel like finding work later on it'll be helpful if they're in Paris. But we have a lot of students that come to Sofia too. The French Riviera is gorgeous. The weather is fantastic. And, those students say, yeah, okay, I'm going to do my studies on the French Riviera and I'll come to Paris and work if I need to. But we have 2 campuses in France, but students can also go to Suzhou. They can go to South Africa. They can go to the United States. They can go to Brazil, because SKEMA has campuses in those 4 countries. When they go international to those countries, they actually follow the program Grande École, the PGE program. We give them equivalency credits for following those programs. It's very similar, realizing that the master's 1 year for the 2-year MSc and the master's 1 year for the program Grande École are foundation years of business. So obviously both programs follow, marketing, corporate finance, all of the basic courses. What's specific to the 2-year MSc is our specialization courses. Out of the 30 credits per semester, 8 of those credits are in specialization courses.
Okay, very nice. So yes, and let's say between Sofia and the French Riviera and Paris, if you were one of our students, one upcoming student, which campus will you choose?
Personally?
Yeah.
Wow. Paris is gorgeous. At the start of the year, all the new students come. We get on one of these, what we call bateau mouche, which is one of these boats that go along the river, and you see all the. I mean, if you're somebody that wants to just do something different every single day, and you like busy, and you like, the metros and the old. Okay. On the other hand, if you like the ocean, if you like the mountains, beautiful views, a little bit calmer, okay, then come to Sofia. So it's your choice. I have kids that are completely different. Some of my kids would, they have to be in Paris. and some of my kids is like, no, I mean, I would rather be down south, and in my apartment down south, and my kids come and borrow it sometimes. So, but it's kind of, it's your choice. It depends on how you are. If you need it busy, big city, come to Paris. If you like it a little bit calmer and you like to be next to the ocean, come to Sofia.
Yes, well, it's true. It's a tricky question. I mean, like the choice is very difficult. On my end, as an admission manager, I mean, a lot of students are asking us, should I choose Paris or Sofia? As Michael told us today, I mean, it really depends on your personality, on what you are looking for. If you are looking for, let's say, a huge cultural life, with let's say a busy evening after classes, Paris can be a smart choice. if you're a fan of, let's say, landscape and nature, the French Riviera can be perfect. But for correct me if I am wrong, Mike, in both campuses, the ecosystem around the campuses is perfect. I mean, we have plenty of companies, and Sofia is also very reputed to be one of the main IT hub in Europe. Am I right?
Yeah. So Sofia is on the French Riviera, which has been a place where people actually with a lot of money have come and stayed for years and years. So there's a huge international population on the French Riviera. There's a lot of business, especially anything that's related to luxury management, tourism, things like there's a lot of innovation that happens down there, a lot of technology that happens in Sofia. But I mean, Paris, for those that are not familiar with France, everything comes from Paris. I mean, Paris is the center of France. And another couple of things to think about is, if you come to Sofia, the campus is like kind of up in the air a little bit. It's kind of up in the mountains. So you feel like you're in the nature. It's a beautiful, big campus. There's a lot of outside space. Another thing to think about is the brand new campus in Paris is opening in January. And I haven't even seen it yet. I've just seen pictures of it, but people say it's quite amazing.
Yeah, I've seen it, and I confirm this point. It will be an amazing campus, but also, like you have sometimes students are looking for cheaper option, and Paris. It's true that Paris is a bit more expensive. So if you are looking for cheaper option, it can be also good to study maybe your first year in Sofia, and later on you can move on. Because the good point, from what I understand, from your introduction, is that like we can move from a campus to another, so we can follow the 2-year MSc in different campuses in France and also abroad.
Yes, the only thing you cannot do is you cannot change within France in the same year. You could do Sofia the first year and Paris the second, or vice versa. On the other hand, if you could do a French campus first semester and an international campus second semester. And so you always have that mobility. And we try and encourage students as much as possible, because the SKEMA citizen, okay, the SKEMA student is somebody that has a different perspective due to the international experience. And that international experience will give you a huge advantage. It will, arm your curriculum vitae for companies.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you for this answer. Maybe a question regarding, a good news for all the students who are listening us today, that we have opened the application portal for Fall 21 intake yesterday. So right now you can apply either to join us this spring in Jan, we still have some seats left, or in September. For the students who are interested and will apply after this session, Mike, what are your tips for the interview, for their CV? What do you advise them? What are you looking after when conducting an interview with a student?
The student needs to be aware of what job opportunities are available after they finish their specialization. So if they're talking to a Master of Science director that's in charge of a program, and we have nearly 40, because there's 20 different programs on 7 different campuses. So there's a lot of scientific directors. They expect that you're going to know what type of employment comes from that type of a specialization. So you need to show that you're motivated, okay, to do that type of a specialization, that you're prepared to put in the work. You also need to show that you're an open person, okay, that you want to learn, that you're going to be a serious student, okay. It's very important at SKEMA that our students respect the individual. We want our students to be kind to one another. We want them to be kind with staff and professors, and it's expected, okay, that we have humility. In other words, nobody has all the answers. Nobody's perfect, and we need to be open to other ideas. And that's kind of the SKEMA mentality, that, we don't know everything in France. That's why we have campuses all over the world, and that's why we have international students. There's no more exciting place to learn than in a classroom with all kinds of different nationalities. It's much more interesting than being in a classroom with one nationality. I can assure you, classes are pretty exciting because of the international dimension.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mike. I think I'm done with the questions. It was very interesting to have you. I mean, having the director of the program is very interesting for us at admission level, but also for the student, because you are the one who will be giving the classes and the program all along once they reach here. And that's also a very good point at Schema, that what I heard from the students who are currently here. They are telling us, okay, the professor here are very approachable, and we can contact them for any question and all. So thanks again, Mike. So I would like to tell the student that they can write to the international team if you want us to assess your profile, your CV, if you have some question, or if you want to apply. Don't hesitate to write us at international.admission with an S at schema.edu. So thank you, Mike. Maybe a final word.
Final word. If you're a great student, okay, I hope to see you soon on a Schema campus. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you very much, Mike. And so now we'll start the second part of today's session. My colleague Pierre Avot will join us for a session regarding the French attractivity and why you should choose Schema. Hi, Pierre. How are you?